2021 was a season like no other. Two teams and two drivers battling it out for one constructors and drivers title. Lewis Hamilton versus Max Verstappen. One looking for a record-breaking 8th championship and one looking for their first. After a hard-fought season with plenty of never-back-down moments, after a major controversy on the final lap of the season, the championship went Dutch and Max Verstappen claimed his maiden crown. And this is where we stand going into 2022. Hello everybody, what's going on? Chris here, otherwise known as CFRacing, and today everybody, I will be unveiling episode 1 of my 2022 Equal Car Championship on F1 2021. Ever since the 2021 season ended, I had planned on doing this in the new year of 2022, and now it is finally ready to be showcased to you all. For those wondering how this series will work, I'll explain it right now. Every single race will take place in Grand Prix mode, the weather will be random, and every single car will be equal performance. Simulation damage will be on the highest setting, and pretty much all the drivers will fight to see who's the best and win the championship at the end of the season. I will be following the 2022 calendar, and if a certain race isn't in the game, like for example Miami, then I'll just skip that and then we'll move on to the next race. So for example, after Miami is Spain. It'll be a 22 race season. There are 9 weeks until the first race of the season in Bahrain, so roughly there will be about 2 to 3 races per week on this channel, as I want to finish this season before the actual season starts. Every driver will be on their 2021 teams, as there is no way to mod 2022 driver transfers properly, but since every car is equal, it won't really matter that much. I just really want to see who's like the best driver overall. Pretty sure it's going to be Verstappen, but we'll see what happens. For each race weekend, I will be doing one-shot qualifying, as all 20 cars and drivers are doing one lap at the same time, so there is no track evolution, so it is as fair as possible. Lastly, I did mod a majority of the team liveries to give a fresh feeling for 2022, and every single link that I could find for the mods and their creators will be in the description down below, along with their PayPals if you want to send them a tip. Please go show them some support, as this series literally wouldn't be possible without them. With that being said, everybody, let's take a look at the 2022 challengers. And starting off, we have Mercedes in a red Ineos Mercedes paint scheme. Once again, every single mod and their description and everything, all the links will be in the description down below, but this Mercedes mod is absolutely beautiful, and it even does change up the teams and their like overalls. You'll see them once like the races get on everything. It's looking great, and I'm super excited to be in this mod, so thank you for letting me use this. Second, we have the Acura Red Bull. This is the Red Bull that they used in the American Grand Prix, or what's it, Circuit of the Americas. I chose this one because I do personally really like the Red Bull livery anyway, and I didn't really want to change it that much. Once again, mod links are all down in the description. Maybe if I do another one of these, I'll try to find another Red Bull like the Infinity Red Bull, but we'll see what will happen next. After this, we have the Gulf McLaren, and I'm pretty sure this was the best McLaren livery that I pretty much ever seen. Like, this livery is absolutely beautiful, and there's a bunch of them that are on Race Department, so you can probably find a whole bunch of different McLaren Gulf liveries, but I chose this one. Once again, links in the description. But I think this one is really beautiful. I love the colors are just absolutely amazing, and I mean, if McLaren uses this in 2022, I wouldn't complain. After this, we have a quick fix to the Aston Martin livery. I took away the, I got a mod that took away the pink of the Aston Martin, and I just added a yellow stripe down the side for actual regular Aston Martin colors. The driver overall still have the pink on there, but right now I thought that the Aston Martin would look much better with the neon yellow stripe, so I decided to go with that one. For Alpine, absolutely nothing changed because I absolutely love this livery. I was contemplating on putting the L plan on the Alpine wing, and if you do want to see that, let me know in the comments down below. I might just add that in some random time throughout the season because, I mean, there's really no reason to change this livery. Maybe if you change it to a different color, maybe I could add the Castrol Alpine livery. Not really too sure, but I decided not to change it because I like the Alpine livery already. Next up, we probably have my favorite one on this entire list, and we have the Santander Ferrari. This livery is absolutely beautiful. It mixes Santander with a combination of like the 2018 Ferrari, which is probably my favorite Ferrari livery of almost all time, with the the Italian flag, white shark fin down the side. It's absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to see Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz race this in the 2022 season. After this, we have AlphaTauri, and this is another one of my favorite liveries, and I think this is just designed absolutely beautifully. Like the red really matches with the Honda logo, and it's just so perfect down the side. You have the blue of AlphaTauri, the AlphaTauri fashion on there. When I saw this livery, I knew I had to take it and use it because it is amazing. Hopefully, I am allowed to use all these, but we'll see what happens. But thank you for this livery. This is beautiful. Next up, we have the default Alfa Romeo livery, and I was on race department, and I really could not find a lot of Alfa Romeo liveries. There were some Andretti ones, and like a few that we raced, like the one that they raced in Monza and all that, but I absolutely love the regular Alfa Romeo livery anyway, so I'm like, hey, there's really, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know what I mean? So this is going to be the livery for Alfa Romeo in the 2022 season. Next up, we have one of my favorites, and this is the NVIDIA Haas. If you don't know what NVIDIA is, they make a whole bunch of graphics cards and all that. I currently am using one of their graphics cards, but I found this livery, I'm like, oh my god, it is absolutely beautiful. And look at this. NVIDIA Haas. Just, I don't even know what to say. Like, I got rid of Uralcali, now I have NVIDIA. Look how absolutely gorgeous this car is. I saw this, I had to use it. It's just so perfect. And last but not least, we have another one of my favorites. This is going to be the Sony or PlayStation 5 Williams. Once again, I saw this on Race Department. I'm like, man, I have to choose this. It is Williams partnered with Sony, PS5, and Discord. Everything that I pretty much use besides the PS5, because I don't have one because I play PC. But this is an absolutely beautiful livery. Cannot wait to see George Russell and Nicholas Latifi compete in this car in the 2022 season. Now, with that being said, everybody, let's get ready for race 1 in Bahrain.
Welcome to the Bahrain International Circuit. Any moment now, our drivers will take to the track and the Bahrain Grand Prix will begin. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best at turn 1, of course, and then another soon into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into the tight left-hander of turn 10. Anthony Davidson is with me once again to take you through today's action, and we have plenty of twists and turns to come over the next hour or so, I'm sure. Why don't we kick off by discussing Max Verstappen?
Well, it was a really impressive lap in qualifying to get pole position, but are they going to be able to hold on to the lead into the first corner with so many quick starters around them? And of course, it's looking very close here today. A lot's going to be riding on those first few corners, and then the question becomes who can manage their tyres so they're in a better position to push hard towards the end.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz, and Leclerc, Bottas, Gasly, Raikkonen, and Sergio Perez, Ricciardo, Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda, and Russell, Vettel, Mick Schumacher, Antonio Giovinazzi and Esteban Ocon, Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now with the 5 lights getting ready, we are ready to start the 2022 season, and it is lights out, and away we go. Max Verstappen gets a good launch out of the box overhead of Lewis Hamilton, who gets a slipstream and goes to the outside of Max Verstappen, but Max Verstappen does end up holding the lead at the end of turn 1, but Lewis Hamilton does make a little comeback in turn 2, but Verstappen cuts him off, with Fernando Alonso actually going up into P3 with Lando Norris P4, Leclerc P5, Carlos Sainz P6, Valtteri Bottas P7, Pierre Gasly P8, with Fernando Alonso going around the outside of Lewis Hamilton. Oh my goodness, what a move there. That was absolutely beautiful. We're on board with Charles Leclerc and now Carlos Sainz, followed by Valtteri Bottas, Pierre Gasly in that absolutely beautiful AlphaTauri livery. Then we got Sergio Perez down in P10, not looking good for him. Lance Stroll P11, Yuki Tsunoda P12. Once again, beautiful AlphaTauri livery, what can I say? Daniel Ricciardo is now in 13th, followed by Sebastian Vettel P14. George Russell in the gorgeous PS5 Williams in P15. Mick Schumacher 16th. Esteban Ocon 17th, Antonio Giovinazzi 18th, Latifi 19th, and Nikita Mazepin, who I am driving as, in P20. We are now looking at a replay of the Fernando Alonso-Lewis Hamilton pass. What an overtake that was. You really did not think that was going to come up, Fernando Alonso, but these old guys still have it now, going on to lap 4 over here. We have Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton battling for P2 right now, and Lewis Hamilton in the absolutely gorgeous Ineos Mercedes is going around the outside, now the inside of Fernando Alonso to take P2 away from him. What a move from the 7-time world champion right there. But Fernando Alonso is coming right back, and we have Lando Norris going around the outside of Fernando Alonso as well. The young guys are showing that they have some potential in this career mode or in this simulation as well. Very nice to see that right there. And is Lando Norris going to get the move on Fernando Alonso? Both are going side by side. This is getting very dicey over here. And Fernando Alonso goes down the inside, but Lando Norris keeps his nose in there on the outside. Could he make him move down the inside of the very long hairpin? I think he will. Yes, he does. And he's pushing Fernando Alonso just onto the curb and off the track. We have Charles Leclerc now going down the inside of Fernando Alonso here. This is some absolutely great racing between all these young drivers, and Carlos Sainz is going down the inside of all three of them. Can he make the move stick? Yes, he does. Oh my god, that was an absolutely gorgeous move from Carlos Sainz right there to pass Leclerc and Fernando Alonso. That is absolutely insane. Great move there for Carlos Sainz to move up to P4, with Charles Leclerc P5, Fernando Alonso P6, and Bottas P7, followed by Gasly 8th, Raikkonen 9th, Sergio Perez 10th, Lance Stroll 11th, and looks like on lap 8, Max Verstappen is going to be the first of all the drivers to come into the pits. This could be very exciting here, as we can see something go wrong or something go very right between everybody. Lewis Hamilton also comes in the pits as well, with Charles Leclerc staying out, and he is actually leading the Bahrain Grand Prix now, as he hasn't stopped yet. He is not the net race leader. That is still Max Verstappen. Going on to lap 9, Daniel Ricciardo is making a move around the outside of Yuki Tsunoda. Will he make it stick? This is very close between the two drivers, the Australian and the Japanese driver right here. We have Lance Stroll actually ahead of him in a very good position right now. That is very exciting. Good for him. We're having a very terrible camera angle right now, but I guess Daniel Ricciardo got the move done on Yuki Tsunoda. Yes, he does. Maybe Sebastian Vettel can now get the move. That would be very exciting right there. Oh, going on to lap 9, Charles Leclerc comes into the pits, followed by Valtteri Bottas. Will this give Kimi Raikkonen the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix? No, he comes into the pits as well. Same with Sergio Perez, but Lance Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda, Sebastian Vettel, George Russell, Mick Schumacher all stay out. They must be the leading medium tire runners, which is very exciting here. That's super cool. Charles Leclerc, are they going to get undercut by... They do get undercut by all the other guys who pitted one lap before them. Maybe not the best strategy to stay out there then. That's quite unfortunate for all those guys right there. Now Max Verstappen on the 2-stop, he's on softs right now. He is catching up to the back of the pack with all the medium tire runners. We have him overtaking Mick Schumacher around the outside of the final corner. That is a very risky move right there. All he had to do was wait for DRS, but he didn't because it is Max Verstappen, guys. You know how he drives. He's absolutely insane. And it looks like he got the move done. Very nicely done for Max Verstappen there. But Mick Schumacher is fighting back all the way down the back straightaway. He must have had a great run with DRS and slipstream right there. But I think Max, with the fresh soft tires, will be able to get out ahead of him. Very nice there from Max Verstappen. Looks like Mick. Is Mick going to make another challenge on him? I don't think so. I don't think he's close enough. No, he is not. Very good driving from those two young drivers right there. Now we have, on lap 11, Max is right on the back of George Russell now. Can he make a move on George? Guess we'll have to see. Is he going to make the same move in the final corner like he did on Mick Schumacher? Yes, he is. Oh my goodness. What a great move there for Max Verstappen. Oh, and he cuts George off a little bit there, showing no respect to the British driver there. Max Verstappen is on an absolute domination path in this race right here. We're on board with Sebastian Vettel right now, as Max Verstappen's going to look to overtake him. And, ooh, we have a beautiful onboard camera right now with Sebastian Vettel. Hopefully we get one of those. There we do get one of those from Max Verstappen as he's deploying overtake mode to get the move down. We can see Lewis Hamilton in the background overtaking George Russell as well. So he is making a move on in this Grand Prix as well. This is very entertaining right now. On lap 13, Carlos Sainz is making a move on Fernando Alonso. Behind him, we have Nicholas Latifi actually in a pretty good race. I don't believe he has stopped yet, but Carlos Sainz gets ahead of his fellow Spaniard. So that is very exciting right there. And now we have the medium tire runners on lap 13 coming into the pits, likely for hard tires to go to the end. I believe they are one stopping, but Lance Stroll has still stayed out. And Max Verstappen, followed by Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Mick Schumacher. I believe George and Mick have not boxed yet. Lando is probably net P3 in this race, and Yuki Tsunoda does get ahead of Sebastian Vettel there. I thought he was going to get overtaken in the pits, but he didn't. So that is very good for the AlphaTauri team right there. Very nice to see that. And where are they going to cycle out? Looks like they're cycling out into P16 and P17. So it looks like going long isn't going to work out. But don't forget, they are also one stopping, and a lot of other people are two stopping. On to lap 16, we have Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton run 1-2 right now. And looks like they are going to have a good pit stop over here. Hopefully Max and Lewis have good stops here. They can come back out battling. We'll see what happens. But there are a bunch of cars right now, and it looks like Lewis Hamilton is going to go ahead of Max Verstappen as he jumps him in the pits. This could be a game-changing right now in terms of this Grand Prix. That is insane. Did not think Lewis was going to overtake Max Verstappen. It looks like Mercedes got lucky with their little pit window right there, as they could get out ahead of the Red Bulls. And where are they going to cycle? So Lewis Hamilton cycles out ahead of the Aston Martins, but Max Verstappen is behind both Aston Martins. That is not good for his race right here. But look at Max Verstappen going around the outside of both Aston Martin drivers. Oh my god, look at the grip of that medium tire. That is pure dedication and sheer will right there for Max Verstappen to get around these guys. He knew that he was going to be held up for way too long, so he had to get past those guys. Now onto lap 20, Lewis Hamilton is battling Daniel Ricciardo for the lead. He's got DRS, he's got slipstream, he's got the long straight. Can he make it? Can he make the move done? It's looking very close. Daniel Ricciardo, the last of the late breakers, breaks down, and no, Lewis Hamilton does get out ahead with the fresher medium tire. But a great run so far by Daniel Ricciardo. Looks like he is in the DRS and slipstream of Hamilton, but he cannot challenge back. So Lewis Hamilton is in the lead of the Bahrain Grand Prix. On to lap 22, Max Verstappen is now battling Daniel Ricciardo, going around the outside of Daniel Ricciardo going into turn 1, and he makes the move stick much easier as he can challenge. Now Max Verstappen can go and challenge and catch up to Lewis Hamilton to take the win from the Bahrain Grand Prix. On to lap 29, the final lap of the race. Lewis Hamilton has maintained his pace ahead of Max Verstappen. It was looking like Lewis Hamilton could win the race with Daniel Ricciardo P3. What a very good race for him. Yuki Tsunoda up to P4. Great race for him in the one stop. Absolutely gorgeous livery. Sebastian Vettel is in P5 with the one stop. Lance Stroll P6 with the one stop, followed by Lando Norris, George Russell, Mick Schumacher in the Haas, Carlos Sainz in P10 in the Ferrari. What a beautiful livery. Pierre Gasly, followed by Valtteri Bottas, Sergio Perez in P13, Charles Leclerc in P14. Dismal race for him. Nikita Mazepin P15, Giovinazzi 16th, Esteban Ocon P17, Nicholas Latifi P18, and Fernando Alonso and Kimi Räikkönen both had mechanical failures and had to DNF out of this race. But into the final corner, it is looking like Lewis Hamilton is unstoppable today as he wins the round 1 of 2022, and Lewis Hamilton wins the 2022 Bahrain Grand Prix for Mercedes, followed by Max Verstappen in P2, Daniel Ricciardo in P3, great podium there, Yuki Tsunoda, Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll, George Russell, Mick Schumacher, Carlos Sainz in P10, but Mick Schumacher scoring points in his first race with the Haas in 2022 was a very, very good.
The Mercedes team pulled out a fantastic performance today. They should be proud. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.